I first met John, I think, might have been 1995. I was between my degree and my MA and looking for someone to help me push my paintings forward. And I went to see an exhibition of his work in Dorset and was completely blown away by the work. I just thought it was like nothing else I'd ever seen. He was like no one else I'd ever met, and spoke about painting in a way that felt really important, really fundamental. Nobody had spoken about painting in that same way. So I kept going back to Dorset for many, many years, and ever since then we have stayed in touch and become very dear friends. So I wanted to put on this exhibition of John Skinner's paintings for several reasons really. Mostly, well, initially as a celebration of his 70th birthday, and also because these paintings need to be seen. I have a fantastic collection of painting which I'm the custodian of here, and it was a wonderful opportunity to take the work out of store and to really spend time looking at it and selecting. And in the end I chose, I think, about 33 or 34 paintings and some drawings to exhibit here, which come from about a 30-year period of his work. So when I walk into this exhibition, actually every time I walk into this exhibition, I know the work very well, but it makes me smile. It really does. It just brings back so many fantastic memories, not only of being in the Abbotsbury studio, but of things that John has said to me over the years, of the place, of Dorset itself. I was kind of present. I was around and saw many of these paintings on the wall of his studio. He talked very generously about how they came into being, what the process was. And there's also that other level of innovation again. You know, every time I see something new, every time I marvel at how he has pushed at the edges of where painting is. So each body of work is sort of, has its own identity. You can see the link through, but he basically keeps on pushing at this language of paint and inventing, and I think it's amazing. So for people to be able to come and see that in this exhibition is really exciting. There are two of the Ayrshire and Hill paintings in the show. I really adore these paintings because lots of reasons really. Again, it's my memory of being on the hill in Dorset, looking down on Chesil Beach, looking at the way the sea and the sky just sort of fill your whole vision, and the horizon just drops away, and this feeling of leaning into the wind on the hill. It's just, I remember it very clearly. And I think it was quite early on in the days when I would go to Dorset on summer schools. And John had, I think, potentially just finished the body of work, and he spoke so passionately about it. He had worked so hard, and I think the subject matter really, it was a difficult subject matter. It was an emotional subject matter. He read us a poem by Terence Hards, and there were obviously 2 or 3 lines of that poem that really kind of summed up or helped him grab hold of the landscape and find a language with the paint. Impossible Coast. Wild dreams of a sleepless age disturb the usual measure of my stride, and I am drunk with sweetness as with rage. Mouth lunatic and eyes in wonder wide, agape to see this miracle that you, so suddenly appearing and so soon to leave, should gather about you as you do. Returning ancient winds to fret and grieve against your skirts, or wanton with your hair, evoking that primeval coast once more. The seabirds screaming and the bare familiar contours of forgotten shore. Why do you provoke me to more tears? Is not all spoken, though nothing said, or will you wake a whisper from the dead to crack and splinter this eternal past, revealing in some hidden fold of years yourself alone on that same coast at last? I remember again sitting on the top of the hill trying to paint the sea and feeling quite grumpy actually because it wasn't going very well. And John would come up to me and say, "What shape is the sea?" I'm going, "I don't know." He said, "Well, you need to know. You need to know. You need to invent it." So this invention, is integral, always present with everything he's doing. So it isn't just a blue sky. It isn't just a cloud. It is so much more than that. There's a portmanteau of other things that are going on. Everything has more than one meaning. Everything is charged with the tactile qualities of the paint. Even the touch, even the smell is evoked through the way the paint has gone on, the way that he is handling the whole painting. So it's like I'm there again. It's like I'm absolutely breathing in the sea air, feeling the space, feeling the light. I just find them absolutely extraordinary. There is a second one as well on the other side of the gallery, and there is a similar language in some ways, similar motifs, but a completely different physicality to the paint, a different energy, a different movement. So he has this ability to kind of create these extraordinary spaces for, as he would say, reverie, spaces to kind of linger, to really feel like you're there again. So this little drawing here I selected very specifically. The first time I saw this drawing and a selection of others, they were above a fireplace in John's studio in Abbotsbury, and they looked exquisite. They feel like a figure drawing. But then he shared with us that they were created or kind of inspired by holding a little volcanic little bit of rock that he'd picked up on Ypres Beach in Dorset. And he would hold it in his hand and rotate it and then drew. And I think there may have even been rubbings of it as well to kind of create this feeling of a turning figure. This idea of a sense of touch or engaging with the primitive, if you like, what you feel through your fingers, engaging with the physicality of something. Even though it's the most delicate, beautiful drawing, really seems to come back at me from this as well. And I see the ripples going through a lot of his work about that, being able to reinterpret the figure, to be able to kind of reinvent the form in that way. There is no top, bottom, front, back. There is that ability to move around the subject. So this collection of 6 of John's ice cream flavoured tree paintings, as you do, reminds me of the, smile while you paint, smile, because they make me smile because of their inventiveness, because of the titles for them as well. I think some of them are called lipstick and leather flavoured, favourite coat flavour, pram flavour. But again, it sort of liberated him to assemble things in different ways and also to play with words. John has, again, more and more, I think, throughout his painting career, begun to not only use words as a poetic connection and a playful feeling for a subject, but also actually now incorporates it in his work. But at this point, I think these were really kind of liberating, certainly liberating for me to see. And I think at the same time, I was very excited about him working on this very, very shiny board and what that offered for him as well, that sort of precision. He could clean back and work. And I may well be making this up in my own memory, but I sort of remember him saying that, you could, I'm not saying these are, but you could represent the whole sky within a little circle attached to the edge of the board. And maybe if that's my invention, I don't know, but it really stuck with me, that level of invention. You can do whatever you like. You can put it wherever you like. It's all material for you to play with. And these really demonstrate that for me. Again, they're a reminder to play, to invent, to be more poetic. There are 5 of these small head drawings in the exhibition. They have such a presence. They're tiny drawings, but the gaze that John has captured is extraordinary. And again, I know that he used these drawings to really experiment with how he could really get that gaze, how the mouth connected or didn't connect to the underneath the nose or the chin, or all of those elements of reinvention are present in these drawings, and they are so pared back, so exquisite. And I like the fact that the head is slightly turned to the side and simplified on the right hand side there. So you've just got the one eye gazing back at you, and the expression on the mouth is, you know, really, really powerful. So yeah, I love these drawings. I think they're very important, and again remind me of his teaching. I think again when I was doing a drawing of Evie when she was little, he said to me, you know, what about start with her cheek and go from there? So again, there is that connection, but they're beautiful drawings. This painting stands alone. It's sort of, I think, from an earlier time, probably before I actually met John, and I really wanted it in the show. In fact, I've placed it very specifically as you come up the stairs of the exhibition, up to the upstairs gallery. This is what you're greeted with. Again, another stunning painting. They're all stunning. But this one has a particular story and association for John. It's called Homage to H.C., Helen Chadwick. And I think, you know, he obviously knew Helen Chadwick and wanted to make this painting. I love it for its own properties, really. And there are so many qualities in here which are extraordinary. Again, the inventiveness of it, the use of the mirror shape, and this is you know, reference to a self-portrait, photographic self-portrait she did of herself looking in a mirror and seeing her own reflection, obviously. So he's used that motif. But there's the handling of the paint and the surface and the space, which I love. And this beautiful, polished, I can't even describe the colour. It's not flesh, it's not apricot. It just has all of those colours in, and polished and smoothed and pushed around. So you've got this amazing glow, which holds these two figures, or one figure embracing. It is this marriage of all these different qualities, of the tenderness, the sensuality, then the kind of bite of the image, the real kind of strength of the image is good. And then this border at the bottom, which again I find, you know, is raw in the way that it's painted, in lovely contrast to this. So I just love all these different uses of language, if you like, and application of paint to get this, you know, stunning, powerful, moving image. I do recall John talking about his experience of working on the beach down in the south of France and doing drawings, as he does all the time. And these paintings seem to sum up for me, again, this ability to notice and pick out the salient things, the things that are really interesting, be it the kind of the straps, the multiple straps on the bathing suits or t-shirts, or the way somebody looks at themselves in their phone or holds a mirror, the way the water kind of comes around the top of the legs while you're standing in the sea. All of those things that he's noticing and using. But also the thing I love about these paintings are, again, the reinvention of the figure. So it's strokeable, this beautiful blue torso, stomach, so shiny, and yet the top half of the painting is bleached out and drawn and scratched back through. These lines that he's putting in are not just about a piece of clothing or the edge of an arm. They are actually all things that he's using to help construct the figure and to create this rhythm that's going throughout the work. And it even appears, that rhythm appears in the stripes that he's using, where he's almost condensed or trapped elements of sky or air or light, whatever they happen to be, to kind of hold and pin the figure, strap the figure into the space of the painting. So there are 4 of these beautiful paintings that are taken from a bigger body of work that John did, inspired by the synchronised swimming team and set. There are the big versions, which are still in France, which I've seen and I loved very much, and, you know, really reminded me of our visit when we came and we saw the synchronised swimming team perform, and that was extraordinary. These have a sort of quieter, luminous, shimmering quality, a more condensed power, if you like, of the swimming. So they're kind of gentle, but there is this power that I certainly remember when I saw these athletes swimming, and a lyrical quality about it as well. And so there is a different feeling. I'm sort of looking down the gallery at the moment to the other ones. They're open. I could dive in and swim too. There is an extraordinary quality of them. The movement of the lines, the luminosity of the white on the white. There is something very pared back and very exquisite about these particular paintings. John somehow manages to intensify every colour, every placement of mark, every quality in the painting to give this sensation. I hope that for John, having this show put up, it's a reminder for him of the work that he did all that time ago, but also I want to convey to him and hope that he realises how important he is as a painter, not just to me, but to all the students he's ever taught, but also to anybody that sees his work. The work is extremely moving, extraordinary, and makes you notice the world more, makes you celebrate what it is to be alive, to be physical. It's an amazing reminder of that.